Hey guys, Stay Toxic Wolf here, back with another episode. But first off, before we start, let me explain why there's no Satoru Plays PSO2 this week. It's because I've been busy. But after this video goes live, I'm going to be streaming on twitch.tv/Toxic Wolf. I'm going to be streaming Satoru Plays PSO2 episode 36 or 37. I'd have to check. But today we're going to be explaining another OC of mine, the son of Urza and Jalal, Tetsuo Scarlet. He is the youngest child of Urza and Jalal, the firstborn being Esmeralda, which has been confirmed. With Tetsuo, though, he's a unique one, because he actually, not only does he inherit Requipped from his mother, but he takes it one step further, introducing a new type of magic called armor fusion. And how that works is, picture this. Urza's adamantine armor with those two bulky shields that form one shield. And then her Blackwing armor, both male versions by the way, and picture them fusing together, forming the adamantine wing armor. That is how it starts. And as he progresses, the armor fusions get stronger and stronger until it gets to the point where that armor fusion goes into a new level known as armor creation. But how, his origin starts off like this. After the battle with Zareth and the Albaraz Empire, Jalal ends up joining Fairy Tail after his crimes are pardoned, and ends up marrying Urza, having both Esmeralda and Tetsuo. So after that, they go on a mission, Urza and Jalal. But what they don't realize is that it was a setup by a dark guild, both of which end up actually taking their lives. And by doing so, forces them to go back into the past to try and stop it. But they overshoot, and they end up back in the Tower of Heaven arc, when Jalal was evil and being controlled. But because they're from the, I bet you're all wondering, how the hell do they get back to the past? That would be because of the child of Gray and Juvia, Zero Fullbuster. He has this thing called Glacial Mate, which is a fusion of both Juvia's water magic and Gray's ice magic. But he also has his own magic, Gears of Time, which plays a big part into that, because it's Zero that ends up using the Gears of Time magic to take both Esmeralda and Tetsuo back to the past. And of course, they overshoot it. So everything happens, and so, like in the show, except with slight modifications. One of which is when Urza is turned to stone, it's not Natsu that gets pissed off. It's actually Tetsuo, forcing him to go into his first of the 4 dark armors he goes into, the Dark Rebellion armor. And I know Dark Rebellion exceeds Dragon. I kind of took possibly 6, maybe 4. In Requiem, Crystal, Starving, Crystal Clear, Starving, Greedy, Eyes. I've taken 11 cards from Yu-Gi-Oh! And just turned them into a armor, which actually works. Which actually works because I'll like explain that later on. But when he loses control of his anger the first time, he goes into the Dark Rebellion armor. And he just flips. He goes to try and kill Evergreen. Because, remember, in his time, he lost both his mother and his father. So, yeah, he did not want to lose them again. And him thinking that he lost them again, he lost her again, yeah. But as things progress, and he's able to like calm himself, get stronger, he learns to control the armors and ends up merging in new armors and unlocking new ones as well. One of which being the Odd Eyes armor, for which acts as like a catalyst for all his new armor fusions. And because he already has the Dark Rebellion armor, he trains himself to control it. And it happens. He does control it. And in the like Erasion 6 arc, he ends up merging the Dark Rebellion armor with the Odd Eyes armor, creating the Odd Eyes Rebellion armor. Which actually does look kind of cool in my honest opinion. I haven't pictured it out. I just gotta see if I can get one of my friends to draw it. But yeah. With that, after he unlocks the Odd Eyes Rebellion armor, he actually progresses further into his training until he unlocks Second Origin. But that happens later on. And as things progress, when he first faces Acnologia, he refuses to lose his parents again, so he pushes himself. During this time, his limit is like using 3 armors together, but he pushes himself to the point where he gets 1 attack by fusing 4 armors: Earth, Fire, Wind, Water, and Lightning, creating the Tempest armor. Actually, now that he creates a new armor called the 4-element armor, which drains so much magic he only gets 1 shot. And even the 4-element armor wasn't enough to like stop Acnologia, which ends up creating Fairy Sphere. And we know what happens from there. The time skip, everything else, and then when everyone goes to unlock Second Origin, he doesn't unlock it for some reason. Like, he tries to unlock it through Ultia's training, but he can't. And during which time, Urza, when her and Jalal are alone, she tells Jalal that they have a family. But before all that, after the battle at the Tower of Heaven, Urza doesn't believe him. So, my character challenges her to a hand-on-hand combat type fight, which activates another type of magic, one that can only be shared by blood relatives, called Memory Share. So with how Memory Share works, is that every blow, be it blocked or connects, the one that gets hit or blocks gets the other person's memories. So at first, when Urza blocks his first hit, his memories flow into it like a little fuzzy, to the point where she really can't hear anything. So she shakes it off, goes to punch him again. He dodges, letting him go in for a second blow, and of course, again, she blocks. This time, they start to come in a little bit clearer. Or still can't really hear anything. Again, she shrugs it off, thinking, what the hell did I just see? The third hit, though, he purposely takes that hit just to land one right back. And because this is the third hit, and it's like full on connect where she's not blocking, he goes in for the full connect and does it. That she sees all his memories. The memories of when he was born, and how happy she was along with Jalal, his training, him joining Fairy Tail, everything. Except one. When he got the word that both Urza and Jalal were killed. And because of this, she can't shake it off. She's seen everything. She knows this is her son. And Esmeralda is her daughter. And it's because of this that and she just drops to her knees, like tear flowing out of her one eye. Because remember, during this time, Urza could not fully cry. It wasn't until like later on to where she learned to cry from both of her eyes. And so, it's with that Urza starts to like realize that, holy shit, this really is my son and my daughter. And after that, that's when the whole like war, the Fairy Tail war happens. My character losing control, going into the Dark Rebellion armor, him gaining control over it, and then all the way up to when he unlocks the Dark Requiem armor, the Starving Venom armor, the Odd Eyes Fusion, the Odd Eyes Rebellion, the Clear Wing, Crystal Wing, and the Odd Eyes Wing armor. One armor he has yet to unlock is the Odd Eyes Venom armor, a fusion, which is a more purified state of the Odd Eye of the Starving Venom armor. But all this plays into his second origin, which happens in the Grand Magic Games arc after Future Lucy is dead. Like that one Lucy from the alternate timeline. When my character is falling off the one dragon, and he wants to become stronger, strong enough to protect everyone. And it's there as he's falling, he says, second origin release, armor of Fairy Tail. And how that looks is, picture the Fairy Tail crest that would be on his arm, but turned into complete armor and him gaining wings. And it's with that armor that he's able to fly and protect his family. But that's not the only thing. When Jalal faces the Erasion 6 again, and Jalal is like close to death, my character ends up getting pierced by Zero. So my character's like near death. And Jalal, wanting to save his son, ends up giving him a small portion of the Heavenly Body armor, which evolves the armor of Fairy Tail into its true second origin, the Star Fairy armor. And not only does the Star Fairy armor save my character, but it also heals him. And as the battle against Tartarus happens, eventually leading to Lucy losing Aquarius, Igneal, and the other dragons' deaths, Wendy unlocking Dragon Force, everything. Like, my character ends up going with his mother and his sister, and they just do training nonstop. It eventually gets to the point where my character learns that the Star Fairy armor has one final form. The Star Fairy Full Burst. How that works is, picture the Star Fairy armor, but with a cape. Picture the armor of Fairy Tail, but instead of wings, a cape. and the cape can actually come apart to form like wings. However, with the full burst armor, those like two wings being split down the middle, again, forming like two extra wings, and all of which are releasing like a huge like Kaioken type aura of magic coming from them. And yes, it burns through a lot of magic, but he gains unimaginable speed, power, where his body pretty much instantly heals from any injury. But he only has a short period of time in it. Even after training, max he can hold it for like 10-15 minutes tops. Unless he uses its strongest move. The Galactic Punisher. Or as I call it, the Heavenly Cleaver. How that works is that the blade of the sword disappears, and then all that magic that's been erupting from those wings get poured into the sword, becoming a massive blade. You're wondering like how massive? Think the Gargantua Punisher type size for the blade. And so he only gets one shot, and this armor just burns out, and he can't use it for a long period of time. Because it takes so much magic, he can only hold it for like 10-15 minutes tops without using the Heavenly Cleaver. But if he does, then that armor just breaks apart easily. That armor just breaks off. So kind of think of it like the Mugetsu, like the final Getsuga Tensho Mugetsu. Except instead of my character losing his magic power, the armor just goes into like a dormant type state, to where he can't wear the armor again for like a good period of time. But that's pretty much it. Thinking about it now, the origin of Seitaro was probably the longest one I did. Yeah, because there was so much to tell about Seitaro. But I'll talk to you all in the next video. I'll let my outro do its thing. So outro, take it away. If you guys are new to the channel, be sure to leave a like on the video and comment down below, along with subscribing and turning on that notification bell so you don't miss another upload or when I go live. If you guys are already returning subscribers, you should already know to have that like button hit, along with commenting down below and having that notification bell turned on. Now, if you guys don't mind, I'm gonna go deal with Mega Masquerade.